Hello everybody, this is the Wax Man coming as always live from Orlando. I've had a lot of my supporters and card crew members and other folks that they're Steeler fans, and we all like to share what Steeler players we have. So I've got 6 stacks here. So I'm going to have to break this down into 3 separate videos. So this will be the stack will be the first, starting with the top of the alphabet, working my way down to the bottom of the alphabet back there. And as you can see from this angle, looks like we got some old Steeler sitting down there. Probably can even read his name. But it's real nice. I've had a lot of these cards for years. I was able to get some nice pickups about 10 years ago. In 2000, so 7 years ago, 2012. So if you see any doubles in here, they are available. I just happen to have a lot of some of the same cards, even from when in the 1980s, early 1980s, when I was collecting and I was buying and picking up some. So I'm going to start with this stack right here. We're going to start at the top of the order of the alphabet, and the first card that I'm going to show, it's going to be Jerome Bettis. Everyone remembers the bus. Very, very powerful running back. This was in the '99 season. He did start out in LA. We appreciate you guys getting him over to us. You know, and he was the reason why he was called the bus. He was almost unstoppable when he was running. You know, so we've got a few of his cards here. Hey, look at this. He was 5'11", weighed 250 pounds. I'm like 6 foot, and when I weighed 250 pounds, I did not look like this guy. This guy just was very powerful, very strong. I've got this. It was one of those cards I picked up. It's in one of them funky containers, but you know, when they go in these containers, I really, really hate to pull them out and to put them into something else, just because of the fact that, you know, they're in here. So, and then here's the last card I have of him. Nice superpowers. I like that because in a day and age of superheroes, he had definitely one of the strongest abilities to run, and his greatest achievement was winning a Super Bowl. In the very last game he played, he announced that he was going to be retiring at the end of the year, and the team pushed and pushed and pushed and went all the way to the Super Bowl to win, and then he retired, which was nice. So here's some familiar names. Rocky Bleier, like we talked about. Some of these I have duplicates. You know, Rocky Bleier was with the Steelers for a very long time also. Let's see, he was drafted, look at that, 1968. This is the 1980 card. And he played for many, many years, and he was another good running back. You know, the Steelers have always been very good at getting good running backs, having great defensive players. Mel Blount was one, you know, through the years. All pros, you can see. Steelers have had a lot of all pros over the years. And, you know, see, this was the Chrome Dome look before it was in style. But he was sporting it back then in 1980. There's a nice older Mel Blount. I like that card. Like I said, I got doubles. And here's one of my favorite because he's got Paul Krause with him on the Vikings. And I like their the Vikings nickname was the Purple People Eaters back in the late 70s. They were very successful. And then here is my real special card, his rookie. And no, I don't have duplicates, but it's kind of nice to be able to have, you know, some of these cards. But see, yet it's not his rookie. You know what? Again, this might be his first card. The only thing I can think of as to why it's in this. I don't always go and look when these cards are, but with NFL, they don't always give them. Back in this time frame, they didn't give them their card immediately. Sometimes they had to wait. Especially if you were a defensive player like him, you had to wait to get your card. You had to be good enough to get your card. And sometimes you had to become an NFL veteran, which is 4 years in the league, before you would get your card. So here we got the Super Bowl 14 cards when the Steelers crushed the Rams. It was kind of nice to watch them win, and I remember them winning all 4 of their Super Bowls during this time frame. Even though obviously they've won 6, but we're going to go back to old school. How did I become a Steeler fan? My father, I don't know. I love my dad. He's a trip. There was a great game. There was Dallas and there was Pittsburgh, and I was probably like 3, 4 years old. And Matt Bauer was an excellent kicker for the Steelers. And he says you can't root for both teams. You have to pick a team. And I was like, but I just joined the play on both sides. And he's like, no, you have to pick a team. I said, okay. So I thought about it, and I was like, well, you know, even back then in the early 70s, around 73, 72, 73, they were calling the Cowboys a self-proclaimed America's team. And I was like, well, it's America's team, and, you know, you get caught up in all the American pride and everything when you're young. Oh, here, the bus ended up in here. I got some more of the bus. I like that. So I don't know. I ended up getting, so I got his cards mixed in. Okay, so that said, we're going to go and start a new player here in a second. So I was like, man, I just really, I don't want to be a good cowboy. I want to be a bad cowboy in those black and gold uniforms with only one emblem on one side of the helmet. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pick Pittsburgh, and that's how I became a Steeler fan. That's how I became a Steeler fan. And that hat, believe it or not, I've been living in Florida a long time. When I finally broke down and got some Steeler stuff, which was this hat, I actually went up to Syracuse. There's the mall, the big mall up there. The Carousel Mall was the original name of it. I helped put in that mall. I went to the lid place and got that hat there. So here we go. Everyone should recognize him. Terry Bradshaw, phenomenal player, phenomenal quarterback, 4 Super Bowl rings. When Ben Roethlisberger's in those last few minutes of a game, I really, many times I can just see Bradshaw out there on the field. Just the way Ben carries himself. It's as if he, you know, watched film. They're so much alike when we get down to those last couple of minutes of a game. They both would throw an interception here and there, but yet they were still very successful quarterbacks. Very successful quarterbacks, and it was really great, real fun to watch them as they played. And this has probably got to be my favorite of all the Bradshaw cards that I have. I just love this case, you know, with the gold screws. Just a beautiful card. It's got, you know, little bit of wear on it. Obviously, this is never coming out of this container unless somebody somehow ends up with this and they pull it out of my dying hands. You know, this is just a beautiful card. Now, not to say that down the road that, you know, everything has its price, which I'm never going to say it's not, but that's just a card that's going to be hard to part with. I think everyone's going to be familiar with this guy, Antonio Brown. I think he's as a player on the field and only on the field, this man is a phenomenal player. When it comes down to his antics on the sidelines and off the field, no one is above the team. Ben is not above the team. No one is ever above the team. And I think that it's a shame that today a lot of these kids get like this. They think they're all that, a bag of chips, and yet, you know, you're replaceable. If I'm replaceable at my job and they tell me that they think I'm the best person in my position, do you think can't be replaced by somebody else? I can be, just like anybody else. So we've got a lot of nice Steelers here from the 80s, and you know, these are not the wax, the what they call the junk wax. Here's my oldest Larry Brown's, real nice. This card here, I have no idea who this guy is. Sorry about that, bro, but I just Bruner. I really have no clue who you are, but you were a Steeler, so I had to make sure I had that card. And then here is Plexico Burris, his rookie card. It is Funkadelic. You know what? That card actually matched his style. That really did match his style. I liked him. You know, he made a couple mistakes, but a lot of people do. Let's see what we got next here. We've got Larry Foote. Another one of those cases that it came with, and I just don't want to just take them out of these cases yet. Eventually, some of these will come out of some of the cases, but I just don't see the point of it. Let's see what we got here. So again, another one of those Steelers linebackers that has a few Super Bowl rings. So why would I not want to have even especially those guys, right? Craig Colquitt was another real good punter. So they've got a lot of great players over the years. Maybe not all of them are in the Hall of Fame, of course, but a lot of the Steelers during that time frame made it to the Hall of Fame because of the quality of the player they were. They went above and beyond what other players were doing, and that's why they had so many. Now check this out. Benny Cunningham, excellent tight end. Maybe not by Gronk standards, maybe not Heath Miller standards, but for that time, the way the tight ends were used, he was really good. And that throw, you know, some folks may look back at it and laugh today, but I tell you something, that was the style. And back then, it was just, you know, nobody complained, nobody said nothing, nobody picked on people, but that's a beautiful haircut right there. And his hair, look how it little messed up at the top. Why? Man was wearing a helmet. That man tucked that in his helmet. Yeah, you got to give this man some props, people. Bruce Davis, rookie. Ken Davis. And some guys I only have one card of, which is, you know, sometimes that's all you need, just as a reminder of some of who the players were. Jonathan Dwyer, running back. He was pretty good. You know, they always had a good crop of running backs. Not everybody was the bust. Not everybody won a Super Bowl. But they always had some real good runners in there. The Steelers have always been pretty decent. So this was kind of nice of Jonathan's nice authentic player worn piece of jersey. It's kind of nice. Something on the outside there. Just can't get that off of there, but I'm gonna have to change this holder one day, but probably not now. But this is my favorite piece of his stuff. 94 out of 299. And look at that. It's a material, auto, just a special piece of card there. We're almost finished with this stack here. So we got James Ferrier. That's his rookie. Some action-packed cards. Barry Foster, another good running back. Went to a couple of Super Bowls. Unfortunately, they weren't able to solidify those rings when they went, but still, they made it. You know, look at the Buffalo Bills. They went 4 straight. Didn't win a Super Bowl. But you know what? Jim Kelly was an excellent quarterback. Steve Furness, defensive tackle. You know what? He's got Super Bowl rings. Do you? I don't. I just have the cards of the players that had Super Bowl rings. Next, we've got Mean Joe Green. You see that uniform he's wearing? Those were the same colors of the football team I played on back in the day, and I happen to wear number 75. I was so excited to be able to wear that number, and I was he was defensive tackle, and I was nose tackle, because in my neighborhood I was like one of the biggest guys on the football team that people questioned, because it was 99 pounds, and that was the maximum you could weigh. is an 11-year-old. Today, 11-year-olds weigh 130, 140 pounds, and I don't think I want to meet them in a dark alley. Remember, guys, some of these cars all my extras are available. Look at that. It's just beautiful cars. Me and Joe. He's got this really cool Coca-Cola commercial. Now, I happen to have 2 of these this year, which is rare for somebody too. And if you notice, this one is available. And do you see how crisp this is? Just beautiful card, slightly out. It's a little off center. The back, beautiful card. And then the reason why that one's available is because I have this one. Again, that beautiful. I mean, I don't know of another team that you could put in these and it would look that beautiful. So we're going to end on this note with Mean Joe Green. Again, he has this Coca-Cola commercial. And if you have a chance, YouTube that, because look it up on Google, whatnot. It was really cool video about his interaction with a fan and a bottle of Coca-Cola. And it took like, what was it, 12, 13 takes, and he had to drink the entire bottle down during the video. So it was awesome. So guys, we'll finish this part here. It's already 16 minutes. Just want to give a shout out to the Rania boys. Was watching one of their videos, and he was talking about the Fairfield. I'm going to do a Fairfield box video coming up again. I went to my local LCS the other day and talked to the manager. Not my LCS, my local. Yeah, it's my LCS when it comes to Fairfield. My local Walgreens, and they're ordering some extra ones in for me. They appreciate my business and love the fact that I love to come in there. And I got a box I think might have something real special in it. As always, they're good to look at. But hey, Steeler fans, this is another good year, a good chance for us. We did fall apart in the end. I think everyone just got tired of all the antics of Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell. I'm not taking away from their ability to play the game. But you know what, guys? Let's end on this note. I hope you guys are able to spend some time with the one you love. This is the part where Waxman says, wax out.